Hello and welcome to AAA Reviews. Today I am going to be reviewing the X-Men Toy Biz line from 1991. I'm going to do the full series of figures that were released, including the playsets and the vehicles. I'm also going to give you a price guide as to what they are worth. Instead of doing my usual traffic light system, I'm just going to give you a price for the figure, and then you can go search for that figure if you still need it for your collection, and you can work out if you're paying more or less. If you've already got these figures, this is going to be really helpful for you because you'll know how much your figure line has increased. And if you are searching for them, then it'll definitely be helpful to give you an idea of what to pay. As you can see, the Black Widow is behind me today. She is my bodyguard because these are my absolute treasures. But you can only see this on this show, on this channel, because I have a contract signed with her and I don't want to go down the route of Disney. She has a habit of suing. Right, so with that said, let's jump into this review. Okay, straight off the bat, let's start with the Wolverine. He is sporting his brown and yellow costume. He has articulation in the head. You can turn his head. You can turn his shoulders. He has no elbow articulation, and he has some articulation in the knees. He has retractable claws, and his mask comes on and off, which also doubles up as a ring, which is really cool. Let's take a good look at him. He is a really cool figure. Now, he was released in 1991, this exact figure. However, this figure I am showing you is not 1991. This is the 1993. How can we tell? Well, it says 1993 on the back, but also this is different. I will be showing you 1991 releases in a moment. This figure, the 1993 figure, is worth £35. That is it on the nose. That's what I'm going to tell you. If, however, it was a 1991 released figure, double that, £70 is where we're at, and it could cost a bit more, but I'm going to say 70 is a fair price. If you look at this figure as well, just a pro tip, do not remove the stickers. It leaves this residue. Keep the stickers on, they're a badge of honour, and I think it just adds to the character of the figure. While I'm here and we're discussing this, the 1991 release figures are now 30 years old, so they are retro. In another 10 years, they'll become vintage. That's when the value of these figures is really going to start to skyrocket. There were people opening these figures on YouTube and saying, oh yeah, they're not worth a lot of money, and they were just ripping them open and that. If you've got these figures in the boxes and you've kept hold of them, they will start to increase in value. I think the Disney Plus re-showing as well has got a new it's got a new sort of young audience that are starting to collect these figures. There's used to be a time maybe 10-15 years ago, you'd go on to like eBay, which is the best place to buy these things if you're looking on the second market. There'd be tons. Now there is very few and far between, and so they are very more scarce than what they were before. Next, we've got Storm in the black costume. A terrible fig, to be honest. When you look at her, she looks nothing like her TV counterpart in the animated series. However, this was before that animated series came out. You may remember the advert with the kids playing with it on the bridge. She has a glow-up feature on the back and a lightning bolt accessory. If I spin it round, here's how you can tell if it's 1991. You've got this as the background to the card. It's also dated 1991, and the trading cards that come with them have got like superhero written across the top, so it gives you another indication that it's 1991. Now, a 1991 Storm, there was variants. They did a silver variant to Storm, and they also did a white variant, and this one here hasn't got the plastic sort of cape to it, if you look. Whereas the white one, and I believe the silver one as well, has the like cape to it. This one here, 1991, I'm going to say is around £70 in a really good condition, sealed. A re-release would be probably half that price again, so about £35. Next is Archangel. This is the white-winged version, which is definitely the more sought after. They did do a variant with grey wings, so that may be the 1993 re-release. This one here, he comes with some missiles that he fires off the top. And it's strange because on the back, he's up there with the good guys. but we all know that he turned out to be a bad guy after he was messed with by Apocalypse. He did then turn good again, so I mean, he kind of switches from sides. This figure for a 1991 release, I'm going to say, is about £80. £80 would be a good price to pay for a 1991 release. For a 1993 release, £30. It's a lot less, but a 1991 first release, you are looking at £80. Next, they released the Nightcrawler. Now, I have a Nightcrawler from 1991, but the card was missing. Someone sent it with a bunch that I bought years and years ago. This is a 1993 re-release, which does affect the price. The price of this one would be around 35 UK pounds, but a 1991 release, which would be a 30-year-old figure now, that's crazy to think, would set you back around £70. They are really difficult to find. Nightcrawler is just difficult to find, whether it be a 1991 one or a 1993. He has these really cool suction cups so that you can stick to things, and he has this sword, which on my loose one, I wouldn't even attempt to fit that sword into his hand. God knows how it's supposed to fit in, but I certainly wouldn't try it because it would probably break the hand. He was in the TV series for one episode that I can remember with Mystique. You can tell by the back look, there's the different card on the back. That will give you an indication that this is not a 1991 release. And that is the Nightcrawler, one of my favourite characters. So next up we have Scott Summers' Cyclops. This one is sporting the blue and white costume. That obviously it wasn't like that in the animated TV series, and later on we did get a figure that represented his animated counterpart. This one came with lights in the back, so a button would be pushed on his back and his eyes would light up. Similar to the Storm, you can't replace the batteries inside this because it's a sealed unit, so once they're gone and it literally can't be replaced. He also came with this sort of little extra piece. As a child, I thought that was a battering ram, but it turns out, if you look on the back of the box, it is part of Cerebro. Why they gave that to Cyclops, I do not know, but that's what they did. And I didn't know that for years and years until I got this version here. They also did a dark blue and yellow variant, which I believe came out again later on. This figure in 1991 with in this kind of condition, I'm going to say is around £70 sealed. If you're getting a later one like 1993, 1994, you can get, again, just half the price. You're looking at around £35. Next is Colossus. He was released in a 1991 wave. This, however, is a 1993 release. He comes with this weight that he lifts up. He has no articulation in his elbows or in his legs. So he's a pretty basic figure. He also doesn't have a collectible card. Now this one is Tycho, which was distributed in Europe. So basically you had all the different languages on there. And he also doesn't have a collectible card. What I cannot tell you is, did the Toy Biz one have a collectible card? I can't say because I don't have one. I'd have to go search that and find out if he did. But this particular one did not come with a collectible card. A 1993 Colossus would cost you around 30 UK pounds sealed. A 1991 sealed Colossus, you're looking at around 50 UK pounds. Next up, we've got the Evil Mutants released in 1991. This is Magneto, and he is a really cool figure. These little metal pieces actually attach to him because there's a magnet inside, showing off his magnetic powers. His head is his helmet, is also removable, and he comes with that really cool collectible card. This is a 1991 Magneto figure and a really cool figure. Now price wise, value wise, for a really nice example like this, I mean that piece has, where is it? That piece has dropped out of there down to the bottom. It's not missing, just so you can see. It's just popped out of like the plastic encasement. But a nice example like this of Magneto, I'm going to say would cost you, from a 1991 edition would cost you around 60 UK pounds, and you could half that if it's a re-release a 1993 re-release of this exact figure to around 30 UK pounds. Next, it's Apocalypse, the first edition Apocalypse. So he didn't look like his TV counterpart. He's like more slimmer in the body, but he's got a really cool feature. His legs extend and so does his waist to give him the appearance that he's getting bigger, and so does his weapon as well, which is really cool. This is a 1991 release, Apocalypse. Really awesome fig. I'm going to spin it round so you can sort of, if you zoom in there, you'll see that sort of gimmick I'm explaining. I did have this one as a child. Really cool figure, and I really love this figure. Price wise, I'm going to say this will set you back for it does depend on condition. You can add more money if the condition is absolutely mint, but I'm going to say for a 1991 one in reasonable condition, you are going to be looking at around 90 UK pounds. For a re-release, you're probably looking at around 30 UK pounds. I think that was the cheapest I could find of a re-release. So there you go, there's the prices. Next up, we've got the 1991 released Juggernaut. Really cool figure. Comes with this like body armor battering ram that you put on him. Actually, what do they call it? He's got punch power, action, snap the batter ram into place, and his shoulders roll forward. He has got some wheels, if I show you that, on the bottom, so you can push him along. He doesn't really represent the cartoon sort of animated version of himself, and it took a long time before they would get us a decent Juggernaut that would actually suit the line and the mass. As you can see, there is that vintage retro looking packaging on the back. These are really cool figures. So Juggernaut, a 1991 version, I am going to say £80 for something, an example like this, about 80 UK pounds. If it's a re-release, you could probably slash that in half to around 40 UK pounds. I mean, that's incredible when you think these figures were £3.99 when they were released. So next up, this is the Wolverine Mutant Psycho. The box is absolutely battered up, but I can take this one out to show you because there's nothing in the box other than the bit. This isn't brand new. This bit here, if I just flick this round like so, let me guess, it's not going to do it now. If I push these two pins down where the figure would stand on, it'll shoot to Wolverine's face. I mean, I guess they didn't really know what direction they were going with. This has got retractable claws. This bit comes out. Again, this is before the TV series. So there it is. What do you expect to pay for something like this? Well, not this one as an example, really, because this isn't mint in box. Mint in box, however, you would be looking at 35 UK pounds if you were looking to purchase this one. This one was released by Tyco, but obviously you can find Toy Biz examples out there as well. Next up, we've got Magneto's car, or as they call it, the magnetron. This cool little vehicle, again, it's a bit of a gimmick, but it fires these discs, and I'm pretty sure, a bit like the figure, it's got magnets in it, so you can attach little metal pieces that would come with it. This one is again distributed by Tyco, but they also distributed by Toy Biz. Value wise, this is mint sealed in box, and this will set you back at today's prices around 40 UK pounds. Next up, we've got the first of two danger rooms. This is the Wolverine Combat Cave. This was a really cool set, and I had this one as a child, had lots of good times with it. I'll spin it round so you can take a look at how it works. He's got like this spinning bit that you spin on the side, and you can move Wolverine because he stands on a plate and he knocks off those sort of knives off the top. He also can punch a hole straight through the middle of Magneto, and there's a little clip that if you catch it with Wolverine's claw will make the wall fall down. So it's a really cool training, and I used to spend a lot of time with this. Figures sold separately, of course, and it says it only works with Wolverine, but you can kind of use some other figures with this one. Price wise, this would set you back in 2021 35 UK pounds, and I think if you were looking to buy it, 35 UK pounds isn't too much of an asking price either. Next up, we've got the second danger room. This is the Cyclops Light Force Arena. Worked only with Cyclops, so that gimmick where you push the button on his back and his eyes light up, that would knock down the metal blocks, it would swing Magneto around and it would break down the wall. I'll spin it around so you guys can get a look of how that kind of worked. A really cool playset, not one I had as a child, would have loved to have had it, but not one I had. Yeah, so what could you pay for this? Well, it's not much dearer. It's around £35 again if you were looking to buy this today. But it's nice to have it as part of your collection. Sadly, if you did own this as a child and those batteries went on your Cyclops, you'd have to either buy another Cyclops, or maybe if you were really spoiled or something, you might have got a extra one of the newer Cyclopses, and that one there would have obviously had the light up, but you could change the battery in the newer one. So there you have it. There is the Cyclops light up danger room. Also, as part of these things, and I've just thought I'd mention it, is you can see the free costumes on the back. These are very difficult to get hold of. I do happen to have a Magneto one. There's also a Wolverine one, and I've never actually laid eyes on a Cyclops one. Price wise for them, they are pretty pricey. You're probably looking at around £80 to £100 per costume, so they really aren't that cheap, but they are really cool to have in your collection. And I'm also going to mention there was two bigger sized figures. There was a big Magneto and a big Wolverine. You've probably seen them when I was showing you the footage of the back of the cards. I don't own them either. If you were looking to buy them, you'd be looking at around £75 to £100 each, sealed in the box. So there we are, 1991 Toy Biz X-Men line, all the figures you could get, including the play sets and the vehicles. Obviously not all of mine are 1991, but that's because it's very difficult to get all of these with the 1991 cards. Let me know in the comments, have you got them all? Is this a line you've collected? Are you looking for stuff still? Has this been helpful? I certainly hope it has. As always, please could you give me a like, please could you subscribe, and please could you turn on notifications. I will be doing other lines from the X-Men Toy Biz series as time goes on, so that'll be really cool if this is your thing. As always, thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to get out there. There's a new figure guy in town, and I'm trying to get up there with the other figure reviewers. And as always, good luck searching for that toy gold.